I just have to ask because obviously, being in a film like this, you are the male romantic lead, and in the past, other actors, perhaps with the same first name as you, have managed to carve a wonderful career out of it. Is it kind of? Are you trepidatious in the sense that you maybe at some point maybe you didn't want to do something like this, or?
No, I mean I didn't want to. It's not. I didn't go into it for that reason. I suppose in a kind of cynical career-building way. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I went into this particular movie because of the people that were making it, namely Isla, PJ, and Jerry Bruckheimer, and and I'm very, very happy with the end result. So if the movie brings success for the film itself, for me, I'm happy for that.
Okay, every woman and maybe some men in that room over there left going, I mean, they were talking about you in there, and so to kind of have that kind theatrical draw. I'm not going to say real life, but I'm just saying that when people watch you on the screen like that, is it interesting, or like is an ego stroked, or do you find it kind of awkward, or?
That's a tough question to answer because I don't really know. I know that people like the movie, and I know they respond to it. Obviously, they respond to the romance in it, and that's great. That's really great. But what it makes me feel is that was a job well done, on my part and everybody else. Beyond that, I couldn't really comment.
What was your first meeting like with Isla? Was it like an instant kind of rapport that you guys had?
Yeah, because actually the first meeting that we had, I mean, we chatted briefly, but PJ was there, Jerry was there, and we got straight into the script, and we got straight into running through some scenes. I think even scenes that are not in the finished movie, some of them, or very different shape. And just improvising, I think we all wanted to see that we could be on the same page or be off the same page, And it was good. It was immediately encouraging.
Is there moments where, I mean, your role is almost like the Ricky Ricardo to her Lucille Ball, and what's it like to rein an actress like her when she's going off and doing amazing things, like in the dance sequence? Do you just stand back, or do you have to kind of?
I think what you have to do is certainly not trying to compete, but not trying to hit the same levels because that would not sustain. But at the same time, you've got to be in the same universe. So the challenge for me was to kind of find a character who could, to some extent, kind of keep up. But obviously for him, he's more awkward, he's more restrained, he's more severe, but not to just kill the comedy in that.
Because a lot of the women here had access to Pat and her insane world. Did you get any of that? The sprinkle of Pat in meetings and things?
Well, I think again, like by contrast, I benefit, like as the guy who's just buttoned down, But I mean, halfway through the movie, she takes me shopping, and from that point on, I'm just dressed in Prada, And so my experience was that for at least half the movie, I was dressed in these amazing Prada suits, which were tailored to fit me. That's not a bad experience.
Did you leave speaking Prada? Are you a connoisseur?
I fed that one to you, didn't I? I did not. I mean, I'm not a connoisseur. I like a nice suit, but it's not like my day-to-day life. I'm not fashion obsessed.
Do you understand the relationship why women have this kind of love with clothing, and Isla gives a comment in the film, but I'm just wondering if you had any take.
I don't really know if there is a why. I mean, I think it's something fairly, I want to say primal, but that sounds a little kind of feral. But I mean something that I think most people would have trouble, explaining. And I don't think it's a purely female-male divide. I know guys that like to shop, and I know girls that don't like to shop, that really don't want to have to think about their appearance all the time, and so on. But it's one of the eternal questions.
To work with Jerry again,
yeah.
What is he like as a producer that is maybe different from other people that you've worked with?
I think there's two things that set Jerry apart on any movie, and the movies I've worked on with him have been wildly different from each other. But first of all is the scale and the ambition. I mean, this is a kind of new venture for him in the sense that it's a new kind of tone, but it's not like he's gone into it quietly. He's going to make the biggest, kind of boldest romantic comedy that he can. And I think that stems from the fact that he knows good material when he sees it. That's the first thing. The second thing is that he's very involved. You know, I mean, he is involved in all the details. And although you've got somebody like Patricia Field, who's a genius in her own field, you've got Jerry is still involved in that. You know, he knows how that's going to factor into all the other parts of the movie, and then he's unique in that respect.
Last question then. I mean, with Sundance and stuff, it seems like you're on a very good trajectory and so wondering what it's like to kind of feel this boost of career and stuff like.
Well, you know, the great thing is with Adam, which is the other movie you're talking about. Like, I'm really proud of both the movies. They're very different in many ways, and for them to kind of have success. They do go well together, but I'm just enjoying that. You know, you're right about the career thing is great as well, but maybe that comes later. That's secondary.